At the top and bottom of the hour, only on AM 860, The Answer.
Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute, Fortifeye Vitamins, each and every Saturday morning live. I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993 on multiple radio networks throughout this great country. We're coast to coast this morning, California to Florida, up to Pennsylvania, everywhere in between. So phone lines are open. I'm pulling a solo this morning. Dr. Michael Lange in the chair. My co-host Doc Hall is out today, so help me out, people, with some phone calls. It's 877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. You can learn more about the supplements that we've developed and all the research we've been involved in at Fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, Fortifeye.com. And once again, phone lines are open, 1-877-969-8600. I see the phone lines are lighting up. All right. I want to mention before we take the first call of the morning that PCA National Bodybuilding Association had their national event this last Saturday. And we were there. The whole Fortifeye team was there. It was amazing. It was the American Nationals. And I want to do a shout out to Phil Westcott, who won the Masters over 50 class. He is a Fortifeye Fit baby. He is on Fortifeye Fit. He is on the Fortifeye Super Protein and all of that good stuff. And also Bryce Johnson got his pro card. Bryce has actually called in the show a few times. And if he's listening to the show today, you can call in and talk a little bit about getting his pro card, even if Phil Westcott can call in. So phone lines are open at 1-877-969-8600. Also want to mention Dr. Susan Summerton starts this Monday at the Lange Eye Institute. That's right. Dr. Susan Summerton starts this Monday at the Lange Eye Institute. Dr. Susan is a diplomat in the American Clinical Board of Nutrition. She's a fellow in the Ocular Wellness and Nutrition Society. She's a certified nutritional specialist with me, and she's also a board-certified optometric physician. So Dr. Susan Summerton has more credentials than just about any doctor out there. She's been in the business for many years. I made her an offer she couldn't refuse to join the Lange Eye Institute team. All right, I see we got some people getting ready to be on hold anyway. Let's go to the first call of the morning. Bob, good morning. Welcome to the program. Morning, Bob.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Nice Saturday morning here. That's not the usual intro, but I assume we're on air. It's time for my question.
Yes, it's time for your question. Yes, it is.
Okay. Sorry about that. This is an easy one for you, I'm sure. Is there any correlation between hydration and blood pressure?
Yes, it is. And it can be good. It can make it go up and down. That's interesting. Dehydration is the root cause of a whole host of health problems, Bob. And you work outside a lot. And so you need to be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. And those people that are drinking 3 cups of coffee in the morning and 2 cups of alcohol in the evening need to drink more water because those are dehydrants. So for every cup of coffee and every glass of wine or every beer, you need to drink 3 cups of water to offset the diuresis effects. So what happens when you're dehydrated, the blood volume drops and your blood pressure can drop, okay? And this can prevent tissue and organs from getting oxygen and nutrition, right? You can be very lightheaded and ultimately you can pass out when your blood pressure drops and you can die. But by the same token, when your blood pressure, when you get dehydrated, oftentimes blood pressure can go up and body can secrete. What happens is the body, when you're dehydrated, the brain sends a signal to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland sits in the middle of your brain, all right? And the pituitary gland is the master hormone releaser regulator. And it causes the pituitary gland to secrete a type of a hormone. It's called, I think it's called vasopressin. And it causes constriction of your blood vessels, right? And so that's just the opposite of what we talked about it using dietary nitrates for, right? You get constriction of those blood vessels, then your blood pressure shoots way up. But also, when you're dehydrated, you know, it increases your risk of atrial fibrillation, brain fog, loss of equilibrium, okay? And AFib is a huge one. A lot of people are out there and they're drinking coffee and stimulants. They're out working in the yard. They're sweating. They're not replenishing their electrolytes in the water. And then their heart starts beating very irregularly, and that can cause a stroke. So there's a lot of things we talk about that can decrease the chance of you having atrial fibrillation as well. So drinking plenty of water. And none of us drink enough water. Think about it. You go to work and you might have a cup of coffee in the morning. You don't drink anything until lunchtime. And then you may have some tea. So you should really force yourself to drink those little, you know, plastic 8-ounce bottles. Drink those throughout the day to prevent dehydration. So, you know, Bob, hope that answers it. I mean, basically, dehydration causes blood pressure to go up or blood pressure to go down.
All right, very good. Well, then it is a contributing factor, so I will be more diligent.
Right, and you know, we've talked a lot about, you know, dietary foods that are high in nitrates. You know, vegetables that convert from dietary nitrates to nitric oxide, and that creates vasodilation, which actually increases blood flow. And it's interesting. Last night I woke up. I worked out late last night. I woke up at 5 this morning, and I went down and I put some spinach and beets in a blender and some Fortifeye super protein, and I blended it all up, and I had it because my theory now, and I took an omega-3. You know, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you have some of these dietary nitrates like organic spinach or kale or beets or our Fortifeye Fit, and you take a whey protein. That's going to stimulate muscle. It's going to help your muscles. Remember, whey protein is fast acting, but those foods, the beets and the spinach, are the dietary nitrates that help vasodilation. Now, remember, most heart attacks and strokes occur first thing in the morning. So it's just my theory that if you eat some of that, you know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, then maybe you don't have that stroke or heart attack, you know, at 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, me being 61, I'm trying to prevent me from just dropping dead from that heart attack or stroke.
Very good. Well, I hope you're as successful as I have been. In theory, anyhow.
You've done well, Bob. You've done well.
All right. Thank you, bro. Thank you. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, Bob. All right. You're listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, and Fortifeye Vitamins. The phone number to give me a call at is 1-877-969-8600. I'm going to give you the phone number for the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Write this down. Lange Eye Institute is 352-753-4014. One more time, 352-753-4014. If you'd like to set up an appointment to see the new doctor, Dr. Susan Summerton, who is not new, but she's like all into anti-aging, Diplomate, I said, in the American Clinical Board of Nutrition, fellow in the Ocular Wellness and Nutrition Society, certified nutritional specialist, and optometric physician, all of that. So you can call Lange Eye Institute and set up an appointment to see her. All right. The number for Fortifeye Vitamins is 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. But it's best to just go to the internet. That keeps the phone lines open at fortifeye.com, Fortifeye. All right, let's go to the phones. We're going to go to Nita in Clearwater. Nita, good morning. Hello, Nita. All right, I think we lost Nita. Give us a call back, Nita, and we'll take that phone call. She had some sort of question. Let's go to Roger Showman, famous newscaster. Roger Showman, good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to put in a plug for the omega-3 that I've been taking for over 10 years. It pretty much cured my shoulder problem. I'm fairly active for a person of 76, and we've been out doing some bike riding and stuff, and the shoulder problem was pretty much gone after that. I was getting cortisone shots and all that sort of thing, and every 6 months, and I thought eventually I'd have to have surgery because of some banged up shoulder difficulties I had. But the Omega product has really made a massive difference, and I sometimes even forget which arm it is I have the problem with.
That's awesome. And that's right. I met you, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. You actually
Yeah.
co-hosted my show with me a few times. And as people that are listening, Roger Showman's a pretty famous newscaster here, and he's on Salem Media in the mornings. And you were complaining about that, and you've been on that omega-3 now for quite some time, haven't you?
Yes, and it made all the difference in the world. And another story, I don't know if I told you, Doctor, I went up to Delaware to visit a cousin of mine, and her husband, Dwight, was complaining. He was sitting in the easy chair. We were watching Fox News, and he was complaining about some pains. And I had a bottle with me of the Omega, and I said, well, here, take some of this. I can get more back when I get to Tampa. And he started taking it. It had made all the difference in the world. Now he's getting all the vitamins. He's a big fan now because it actually worked for him better than anything he tried in the past 20 years.
Well, the omega-3 lowers inflammation, and if it lowers inflammation, it increases range of motion, and it also decreases pain. So it works very well. And when you combine it with our new curcumin called Next Gen Curcumin, that's curcugen, it's in our product we have called Omega Relief. It even works that much better, but you're doing quite well. And people don't realize that, but Roger and I bike together and we work out in the gym together. And he's actually pretty doggone good for, like you said, his age. He can hang with 40, 30-year-olds.
Well, I got to tell people, for a person your age, Doctor, you are in better shape than most of the people I know in their 30s and 40s. You outdo me in the gym. I lift the 20-pound weights. You're lifting the 100 pounds. It's amazing. But you've been on this longer than I have, and your nutritional knowledge is great. But it is amazing. I've also noticed some other people I've talked to, they say, oh, fish oil doesn't work. I've been on this for years. They've been getting that stuff at the drugstore,
Right.
and it's a totally different animal than what you're providing with omega-3.
Right. Our Fortifeye Super Omega, if you recall, about 14 years ago, I went to Norway and developed it. And then we came out with 2
Right.
years ago, Fortifeye Super Omega Max, which is 50% more potent. And I tell people that are over 200 pounds, take the Super Omega Max. Under 200 pounds, take the Super Omega. And they can get it at fortifeye.com. But the thing that's different, most omega-3 that you buy over the counter has ethanol attached to the backbone. That means it's an ethyl ester molecule. And this has a triglyceride backbone. So it doesn't have to go through the liver every day to cleave off the ethanol. It goes right through your digestive system, absorbs right through your bloodstream and your stomach lining into the blood, and you get instant gratification. So it really works. Also, omega-3 has been shown to decrease the chance you get dementia. If you're older, if you're diabetic, 50% less likely to go blind from diabetes. And also, the right omega-3 can reduce the chance of having a fatal heart attack or a stroke. So there's a whole health, a whole list of health benefits. And people can learn more if they go to a website, healthbenefitsofomega3.com. I urge them to check that out. That's the latest 2 years worth of studies at healthbenefitsofomega3.com. All right, Roger.
Very good. And I must say that I'm on the other vitamins too. When I first started working with you years ago, I was on a vitamin program I thought was pretty good. It was pretty effective. Then I switched to your multivitamins, and it was an exponential change. I got rid of a lot of tiredness I had. I recovered faster from the morning shift, which can be a little grueling sometimes, getting up at 4 a.m.
Right.
And I didn't need as many naps as I was taking. So it does make a difference. It's a very high quality product.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that testimonial, Roger. And we gotta hit the trails to go mountain biking or road biking on the causeway later on this afternoon, maybe.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
All right, Roger. Have a great Saturday, my friend.
See you later, Doctor.
All right, we're getting ready to take some more calls. We're going to go to Nita first, and then Dr. Posser, world-famous plastic surgeon, after that. First, let's go to Nita. She's been waiting patiently. Nita in Clearwater, good morning.
Good morning.
What can I do for you?
I recently started gaining weight, and I want to lose about 10 more pounds, and I'm just like at a standstill, and it's like mostly in my stomach, and I'm just wondering what you have to offer.
That's a great question, and we help people lose weight daily. I tell my patients when I see them, if they're overweight, I do it diplomatically. You know, the best thing they can do for their eye health and their overall health is get down to their ideal body weight. And so I worked on a product called Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. All right. And I'm going to tell you about it. You can go to the website, Healthy Weight Loss Bundle, and it gives you a diet, the Lange Survival Diet. If you eat the foods on the Lange Survival Diet, it'll decrease the bloating in your stomach and the water retention, and you can lose some weight like that. I've removed all the harmful foods that are high in lectins and phytic acid and gluten and pesticides and FODMAPs and all the things like oxalates and alkaloids. I mean, basically everything bad. So there's only certain foods you can eat. So start with eating the foods on the list at the Lange Survival Diet. Then what I want you to do, I'm holding up in front of everybody right now, our organic blue-green superfood. You take a scoop of our organic blue-green superfood and a scoop of our super protein, our New Zealand whey protein, and you mix them up in water, shake them up, drink that down, and make that one meal replacement each day. One day have it for breakfast, one day have it for lunch, one day have it for supper. Don't have it at the same time every day because your brain goes into starvation mode and your metabolism will slow down. This will allow you to lose weight because the calories are so low. It's high protein, low calories, low sugar, low carbohydrates. Then the other 2 meals a day, eat from the list of foods on the Lange Survival Diet. So, Miss Nita, take a scoop of Fortifeye Super Protein, any flavor, a scoop of organic blue-green superfood, shake it up. That's a complete meal. Monday, have it for breakfast. Tuesday, have it for lunch. Wednesday, have it for supper. And then, convert and keep doing it like that. Don't always have it for breakfast, lunch, or supper. And I guarantee, that's my New Orleans accent coming out, you will lose weight, okay?
Okay. All righty. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, Anita. And anybody listening, you can go to the website at fortifeye.com, Fortifeye, fortifeye.com, and go to the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. That also comes with enzymes and probiotics. It's a really good deal, and it does work. It really does. All right. Let's see. We got, I think, Dr. Posser waiting on line number 1. Is this Dr. John Posser, plastic surgeon?
That is me. Hi, Dr. Lange. How are you?
Good morning. Where are you calling from?
Well, actually, I'm in New York. My brother's son went to the Naval Academy, and then he went into nuclear submarines, and now he's at Harvard Business School, and he's marrying a girl who went to Harvard for something else. So I feel pretty ignorant up here. That's why I'm glad I called in, so maybe you make me feel better. But anyway, Dr. Lange and I have been knowing each other a long time, and I'm working with him on some projects, including dry eye and super water and macular degeneration. And we're actually doing some studies on that right now, but that's another subject. But as far as plastic surgery, I've been a plastic surgeon for about 40 years now. I did train at BU and actually at Harvard with craniofacial with Dr. Mulligan. But anyway, while I was there, I found out that that my cousin, my grandfather's first cousin, actually started American Society of Plastic Surgery, William Lett Shearer. Now, plastic surgery goes back a long time. It goes back to Egypt, where they used to cut noses off and they did flaps. So that's where they were actually doing plastic surgery in the old days. As it progressed through World War I, where my great cousin was, they started doing reconstruction of the face and the eyes and that sort of thing, which was kind of the beginning of modern plastic surgery. And while in Boston, I actually met Tessier, who was the first doctor to be able to move the nerve to the eye without blinding a person and changing young people's faces, from strange syndromes to better looking kids making it in life.
Right.
So that's when I first started getting involved in eye surgery. But as far as what I do, I'm moving into Dr. Lange's office where I get all the vitamins, and with another doctor, and I'm going to be doing eyelid surgery there. And to talk about eyelid surgery, as you know, as you get older, you get a lot of extra skin. That's called dermatochalasis. Not only is it uncomfortable, it causes dermatitis, but it also forms epitheliomas or little bumps on your eyelid, but it also contributes to dry eye because of all the bacteria that harbors in the eyelid. And as Dr. Lange talks about, one of the things for dry eye is to do soaking your eye and making, killing the bacteria and fungus, that sort of thing. So to get rid of the extra skin of your eyelids, that will improve your not only your dry eye, or not only your vision, but also dry eye. As far as the vision of removing the skin, it actually, when I talk to patients afterward, increases the light. So they say, I didn't know there's so much light in the room. It also increases your peripheral vision, because a lot of times when you're driving, you get hooded on the lateral sides of your eyes, and when you don't see a car and you try to pull out in the next lane, next thing you know, there's a car right next to you 2 inches away, and you got to quick pull back again. So it can contribute to your health as far as your driving and your living in that sense. Other things that can happen with the eye, as you get older, there's a Mueller muscle. It's an automatic muscle that holds your eyelids weakened. So with eyelid, you can actually correct that and get your eyelids up above your pupil so you can see better. So there's a lot of things you can do with eyelid surgery to improve your vision. And I'm going to be working with Dr. Lange on this in his office in Ocala we're probably opening up in another month or so, maybe a little sooner than that.
Right.
But,
And John, Dr. Posner, that procedure, blepharoplasty is relatively simple. It can be done in the office under local anesthesia, pretty painless, and post-recovery is pretty quickly. How long does the procedure actually take?
As you mentioned, you just use lidocaine, which is just a local anesthesia with epinephrine. It's more or less like taking off a mole. It takes me no longer than maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20, sometimes up to half an hour, depending. But the healing rate is tremendous because the supply is tremendous. In a few days, and you have a stitch underneath, you pull out like a belt. There's no real spout. Right. And that's pretty much the end of it. It takes about 2 weeks for it to heal completely, all the swelling to go down. You may have a little black and blue at the bottom, like I'd rather fight than switch, bruising, but that goes away in 2 weeks too. So it's a very simple operation with a lot of improvement, not only making you see better, but also you actually look younger too. So that's another benefit to it.
And also, Dr. John, a lot of people have this puffiness under their eyelids. It's like reverse dermatochalasis. And that can be done at the same time where you can remove the bags under the eyelids, can't it?
Yeah, what happens there is like God designed us to have a buffer around the eyeball, which is fat. So there's a big glob of fat all around the eyeball and the posterior portion of it. And then there's a ligament, the lower portion of the eye, that stretches out with age, like something pushing against it over the years, and finally it stretches out, and that's the fat trying to, push out. And that's called the lower eyelid bag. And you can do that too under local anesthesia. You simply go in, go through the muscle and the little ligament that holds it, and it pops out. All the fat pops out, and you clip and cauterize it. All of a sudden, you don't have the bags anymore, and that only takes another maybe half an hour or two. So for total of upper and lower eyes, you can do that probably 45 minutes under local.
Right.
And that's very fast healing too.
Awesome. So we're looking forward to a doctor and another doctor, a neuropsychologist, that are going to be having some space in the old Lange Eye Care building upstairs, right in Ocala at 3101 Southwest College Road, upstairs right next to the Fortifeye or the Lange Nutrition Center and across from the Reboot Wellness Center. So Dr. Posner will be there. They're going to start building out that facility. So we're hoping in the near future, world-class plastic surgery right there in Ocala, Florida, upstairs. And of course, we've referred patients to Dr. Posner in Gainesville and the Villages over the years. But now in Ocala, Florida, we'll have a great plastic surgeon. So we're looking forward to that, Dr. John.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it, and I wish well to everybody. And take your vitamin, Dr. Lange's vitamins. You'll get better.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. All right, we're getting ready to take some more phone calls here in just a second. You're listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Michael Lange. I've been hosting Ask the Doctor for 30 years now. Crazy, nonstop. 1-877-969-8600. Give me a call regarding your vision or eye care or a nutritionally related topic. Remember, this does not replace a medical evaluation or an eye evaluation. This is for educational purposes only. Also, remember, supplements are supplements to your diet. They do not replace your diet. Supplements are just supplements to your diet. They are not a cure-all. They help support your health. All right. But you always should get your food, the good food. Like I said, wild Alaskan salmon is a power food because of the omega-3, the protein, and the astaxanthin that's in it. That is a carotenoid that has some anti-aging attributes. And we've had some world famous guests on talking about the power of astaxanthin. All right, we're going back to the phones. Let's see, Barb in Palm Harbor. Barb, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. I can't believe we're facing 2023, and I can't go into it, of course, because you've got a limited show. But your history and my family, and facing 2023, a brand new year. My daughter's health is blooming thanks to your products. My husband has got a 60% fraction on his heart pump. The fit that you provide with the products in that fit is absolutely unbelievable. And I don't know how you can keep the price the way it is, but that is one of the most remarkable products on the market. From his heart surgery to have the strength of the heart pump that he's got, that right there says it all. And you would pay, I don't know how much money now it's went up to, but for the ribose in that alone. And your focus, I've got a 93-year-old mother. She's taken it faithfully, and she does not even need to wear glasses. And your curcumin, I had my sciatica was acting up so bad. I took one of those, and the sciatic pain is gone. But your products are fabulous. You're fabulous. You're caring about people. I have a son-in-law and my daughter and my husband, and all I can say is, Dr. Lange, I thank you so much.
Well, thanks for that, Barbara. I appreciate the positive comments. I've known you and your family for a long time. And, it's all about, God made a pretty good body as long as we give it the right fuel. Remember, these aren't miracle cures, but if we give the right fuel combined with the right diet, exercise, hydration, sleep, it all works synergistically together, and the body, can heal itself oftentimes. Obviously, a lot of people need medication to heal too, and surgery. So this does not replace that. So we're sort of integrative, using the best of all the worlds of nutrition and medicine. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Barb, thanks for those testimonials. I appreciate it. And have a great day. All right. We're getting loaded up. Once again, you're listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, and Fortifeye Vitamins. If you've got a question regarding your vision or eye care or a nutritionally related topic, I'm also a certified nutritional specialist. Give me a call at 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. If we have time, I'm going to break down the Fortifeye Fit. Real quickly right now. Barb was talking about Fortifeye Fit. We call it the ultimate muscle fuel. And I just want to tell you, the amount of collagen in the Fortifeye Fit, you'd have to drink 3 cups of bone broth for that. The amount of creatine in it, you'd have to eat 2 pounds of grass-fed beef. The betaine anhydrous in it, you'd have to eat 3 large beets. The astaxanthin in it, you'd have to eat 8 ounces of salmon, wild-caught salmon every day. The branched-chain amino acids, 2 pounds of beef. The L-citrulline, you'd have to eat half of a watermelon to get the L-citrulline, which converts to L-arginine, which is a vasodilator, which converts to nitrous oxide, basically. Not nitrous oxide, dietary nitrates, nitric oxide. So, and that's a vasodilator. So that's why bodybuilders use things that have this vasodilatory effects, because it gives them a very good pump in the gym, but it can help with blood pressure. It can help with ED. It can help with all sorts of things naturally. Remember, this never replaces your medications. All right, we're going back to the phones. Let's go to Susan in Clearwater. Susan, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I just have a really quick question. You've mentioned coconut oil from time to time, and I was wondering the effect on cholesterol. I usually have a piece of toast, coconut oil, and a little manuka honey in the morning, and my LDL really shot up when I just had a test, and I was wondering if that could have affected that, or then maybe something else.
Yeah, so, coconut water, there's some studies out there that show that coconut water can actually reduce overall cholesterol if you drink a lot of it. So some people don't like coconut water, and you have to get the coconut water that doesn't have added sugar. The thing I like about coconut oil, it's high in medium chain triglycerides and lauric acid, and there's some studies that indicate it might have some neuroprotective properties, and I've seen studies both that have shown that coconut oil raises cholesterol. I've seen where coconut oil lowers cholesterol. The latest study I've seen, it lowers the LDL a little bit possibly, and may raise the HDL a little bit. But cardiovascular exercise will help raising that HDL, okay? A good diet, like the paleo diet, Mediterranean diet, the Lange survival diet, getting your ideal body weight down to your ideal body weight. You have to become a lean, mean fighting machine. And there's other nutrients that can lower cholesterol. I mean, things like niacin, but if you take too much niacin, you turn red as a beet, you flush, right? There's plant sterols can help with that. But usually, you got to look at your ratio of cholesterol, and you got to look at, LDL, HDL ratios, and you got to look at the type of cholesterol, whether it's the hard or the fluffy cholesterols, and make sure things like your triglycerides, your C-reactive protein, your homocysteine are normal. My mom has had 340, 350 cholesterol almost all of her life. My dad was a physician, a rheumatologist. Every time they put her on a statin drug, she couldn't play tennis because she had leg cramping. And so she's 95. She still plays tennis. Knock on wood, never been in the hospital except when she had me and my brother. And she's had a 340 cholesterol, but the rest of her blood chemistries are normal. So, it's a good idea to counsel with your physician about elevated cholesterol and see what they have to say. But you can always combine that with a natural approach.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right, Susan, take care. All right. Looks like we got a few people on hold. Steve and Dr. Watson. We're going to go to Steve first. If you got a question, give me a call. 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. I do want to let you know, at the Lange Eye Institute, we were preparing for Dr. Susan Summerton to come in. So we added 3 more examination lanes for her. We put a brand new lab in. A brand new visual field machine. So now we have 2 visual field machines. So we really are prepared with some state-of-the-art technology. We put a lot of new integrative technology that can help us diagnose diseases earlier in the ball game. We do a lot of glaucoma treatment, a lot of macular degeneration treatment. Upstairs, Dr. Tolentino does a lot of injections for the wet form of macular degeneration. But my goal is to help people more naturally, so they never have to go upstairs to see the retina specialist. But at least we have Dr. Tolentino upstairs for those of you that are having advancing macular degeneration. Before we take the next call, I do want to tell you, we're still running that deal on our Fortifeye Macular Defense. Remember, this is nutritional support for the retina. It is 30% off. Everybody's raising their prices on supplements right now because they've gone through the roof. Manufacturing costs have gone through the roof. Everybody's raising their prices. We actually have lowered it for a period of time. The Fortifeye Macular Defense and zinc-free macular defense are 30% off on the website right now at fortifeye.com. And you're wondering, which one do you take? Well, I wrote on there what I recommend based on 30 years of practice. And basically, if you're a vegetarian, you need to take the one with zinc. If you're an alcoholic, you take the one with zinc. If you have ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, you take the one with zinc. And if you're on a diuretic, you take the one with zinc. Otherwise, you take the zinc-free version, because if you're eating animal proteins, your chance of you being zinc deficient is very, very slim. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Steve in Clearwater. Steve, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Yeah, next time you talk to Dr. Posner, I would like to ask a question. Maybe he can come in next week or something on it. What percentage of his patients have an actual functional problem as compared to those percentage of patients that come to him strictly because of egomania? I mean,
cosmesis, in other words.
Yeah, this is just my personal experience as a layman. The people I know that have plastic surgery have a personality that's very self-centered. Now, I know that may sound like that's just an observation I have in my personal life. That might not be, but it just seems like they're overly worried about these nasty, these silly little things. And what disturbs me is that the amount of children that are having plastic surgery is ridiculous.
Yes.
It's totally ridiculous. And I'm sorry, I know I have no qualifications to make that evaluation. But when you go and 10 of them have had plastic surgery, you say there's something wrong here. And so please don't think I'm going after that particular profession. It's worthy, and it makes people improves the lives of a lot of people.
Sure.
But I'd really be interested in his perspective on that.
Well, many patients that come into the Lange Eye Institute, it's a functional problem, and it does decrease their peripheral vision dramatically. And after cataract surgery, oftentimes the peripheral vision can be, the ptosis or the dermatochalasis can be even more apparent. So, a good oculoplastic specialist or a good plastic surgeon, if it's functional, and we prove it's functional by doing a visual field test, taped and untaped, then oftentimes it's going to be covered by insurance. But as you know, a lot of plastic surgery is not covered by insurance. So we'll have Dr. Posser as a guest again on the show coming down the pike, and we can talk more about that.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. And I have one other question.
Mm-hmm.
You know your product that has the cytokines in it for dry eye?
Right.
Well, the epithelial on the cornea has a 7-day growth cycle, as you know. It lays dormant for like 5 or 6 days, and then all of a sudden there's a burst of mitosis in the epithelium, and then it stops again. It's a 7-day cycle, circa septum rhythm. And it looks to me as if some of those cytokines are the same cytokines that signal that cycle. So I'm thinking that it could either suppress it or increase it or flatten it or sharpen it, but I don't know which one. But have you ever seen any papers about that?
I could hook you up. I've got a lot of papers talking about nutrition and dry eye that I could certainly send you.
Yeah.
That gets really technical, and you being so involved in the technical aspects would appreciate it. I mean, we do know that certain forms of omega-3. There's many studies out there that have shown that omega-3 can help with dry eye, can help open the meibomian glands, especially when you combine proper lid hygiene, cleaning the lids, hot compresses, opening up the meibomian glands. And we think it's, due to the prostaglandin inflammatory cascade. Omega-3 can out-stimulate series 3 prostaglandins, which is anti-inflammatory, and it helps stop the arachidonic acid cascade by helping to block the delta-5 desaturase enzyme that's up above the series 2 prostaglandins. So it helps to decrease that whole inflammatory cascade. And then GLA that comes from borajol, black currant seed oil, evening primrose oil, even a little bit of spirulina. GLA stimulates series 1 prostaglandins. And there's some definite studies that have shown that when you add GLA to omega-3, subjectively, it does improve dry eye symptomology. And these are double-blind, placebo-controlled studies done by ophthalmologists and optometrists. I've actually been involved in some dry eye studies, also FDA-approved dry eye studies at the Lange Eye Institute, not with nutrition, but with new generation drugs. And so there's a lot to be said. I have a very high success rate by heating the lids, cleaning the lids, using omega-3, and using specific lubricants that are very good for the eye. And there's anomalous serums that you can do. There's the new Regenerize that has stem cells in it, human stem cells. So there's a lot of things that can be done for dry eye today. And the main thing is, don't wait. If your eyes feel sandy, gritty, burn, tear, itch, fluctuation in vision, get into your local optometrist, local ophthalmologist. Make sure your eyes are dilated. That is very important so we can check everything very carefully. if dry eye goes undetected and untreated, it can cause permanent scarring. And a lot of people are wearing, contact lenses that have dry eye on top of it. That compounds the problem and keeps increasing the risk of corneal ulcers and having a problem. So it's a good idea to get the dry eye under control. And it starts with diet, believe it or not, Stephen, because the typical American diet is a pro-inflammatory diet. So if we go to a diet that's less inflammatory, believe it or not, just a simple diet can help with dry eye and inflammation in the entire body. Okay?
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Thanks, doctor.
All right. Thanks for the call. All right. We're getting ready to go to Dr. Watson here in just a second. If you got a question, give us a call at 1-877-969-8600, 1-877-969-8600. Also, talking a little bit about macular degeneration. Study quite some time ago was the AREDS-2 study, proving that in my opinion, a relatively archaic formula of vitamins can actually slow down certain forms of macular degeneration at certain levels. And that was vitamin C, vitamin E, 80 milligrams of zinc, lutein, and zeaxanthin. The first one was had beta carotene in it, and I was a study member in the BLAZE study, beta carotene, lutein, alpha carotene, zeaxanthin absorption study, that proved that beta carotene actually blocked the absorption of xanthophylls. Okay, these are things like lutein and zeaxanthin and astaxanthin, and that's why I don't recommend people with macular degeneration eating a lot of sweet potatoes or carrots, because it could block, if you're eating greens, some of the lutein absorption. And so that's why Bausch & Lomb took beta carotene out of their formula. Also, high dosage of beta carotene is affiliated with lung cancer in certain smokers as well. So there were two phases of the AREDS-2 study, and one had 40 milligrams of zinc and one had 25 milligrams of zinc. And of course, the first one had 80 milligrams of zinc. And the last two with the lower light amounts of zinc proved that you still had the benefits without the potential side effects of high dosages of the zinc. I was involved in a post-AREDS-2 DNA study where we took DNA from our patients. We found out that as a relatively large percent of patients, based on their DNA, the zinc, that high dosage of zinc at 80 milligrams, was problematic for their retina and potentially their brain. So we did develop a product. We were the first in the industry to come out with one with only 30 milligrams of zinc, less zinc. We are coming out with a AREDS-2 Plus. We call it Advanced Retina Formula in a gel cap. It's coming out soon. It has the exact AREDS-2 formula, but we use natural vitamin E instead of synthetic vitamin E. We put an easy-to-swallow gel cap. We added resveratrol and astaxanthin and only 30 milligrams of zinc. So that's available for those of you that your doctors want you on an AREDS-2 type formula. All right, we're going back to the phones. Let's go to Dr. Watson. Is this Dr. Patrick Watson, neuropsychologist?
Hi, Mike. Good morning. Good to talk to you.
Good morning, Patrick. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks for calling in. Would you just tell people a little bit before we get into what your question is, what a neuropsychologist is?
Neuropsychology is a branch of psychology. Its major focus and concern is with how a person's cognition and behavior are related to the brain and the rest of the nervous system. That's the easy portion of it. We do a lot of work with neurochemistry and neurophysiology as far as behavior. My focus, obviously, is, as you know, is that I'm a certified integral clinical medical support hypnotherapist. On top of what else I perform, I'm also a certified neuromeditation instructor.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And you're going to be opening an office soon in Ocala.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. We have an office in Ocala. We'll have an office in Ocala and then one in the villages also.
Right, right. And so that office in Ocala is going to be at 3101 Southwest College Road. It's the old Lange Eye Care building upstairs, right next to the the Lange Nutrition Center, where Doc Hall hails from, and across from Reboot. And I think Dr. John Posser and you, and John called in earlier from New York, are going to be in there together. So be offering plastic surgery as well as your everything that you're offering with neuropsychology. So it's an exciting time for that building right there on State Road 200 in Ocala.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. Mindset Solution. Our main focus is the hypnotherapy. which is a application of universally accepted self-discovery techniques and self-empowerment.
Right.
So
that's gonna be exciting. And we'll have to have you as a guest in person on the show so we can talk more about that. But we're getting loaded up with a lot more phone calls, so I'm gonna take some more phone calls here. Dr. Patrick Watson, thanks for the call, my friend.
All right, Mike, you have a great day.
You too. Take care. All right, let's see. I think it's Karen in Georgia. Karen, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Morning.
What can I do for you?
I went to see the eye doctor because I've had this bubble in the side of my eye inside. And I can't remember what she said it was, but she said it wasn't necessary to remove it.
Uh-huh.
But it's just weird. I've never seen that before, and I have no answer as to why do I have a bubble in my eye.
So let me ask you this. Is it a bubble inside the eye, like in the retina? Did she do a scan of your retina and show some sort of cystic changes like cystoid macular edema? Was it retinal, or was it external on the outside of your eye?
It's external, but in the eye. So if you move my eye, open it to the side at the end, you can see it.
Yeah. So is it under your lid?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that could be like a lip. That could be a fatty. That could be like a fatty lipoma. If you pull your lid up and it pops down, sometimes they're bilateral on both sides. So that could be what she's seeing, and probably something that she's just going to keep an eye on. Sometimes those need to be biopsied if ever in doubt, just to make sure it's not some form of cancer. It usually isn't. But there's other things. There's certain types of cysts, conjunctival cysts that look like bubbles. There's pterygiums and pinguiculas on the outside of the eye that can look like that. I mean, without me seeing you, it's hard to tell what's going on. But I would say, have the doctor that's looking at you follow up with that, and have her or him educate you on what it is.
I did see another eye doctor, and he said that it would be worse to remove it if it's not bothering you.
Right. There's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you had two people look at it and they say it wasn't a big deal, you're probably in good shape. You might want to use some lubricating eye drops, preservative-free lubricating eye drops you can buy over the counter. The ones I like are Optase and Oasis because they have hyaluronic acid in them. They do tend to last about 3 times longer than the stuff you buy over the counter. Those are good lubricants you can get through your doctor's office. You can get it at Fortifeye.com. But lubricating eye drops, anytime your eyes feel sandy, gritty, burn, tear, itch, fluctuation of vision, then obviously see your eye care provider annually or per their instructions, okay?
Okay. Do you think that has anything to do with the onset of cataracts?
No, probably not. Cataracts are kind of a normal age-related change. In our 50s and 60s, we start to develop a little yellowing of the lens, and as we get older, those cataracts get a little bit more mature. And I like to tell my patients, when your local optometrist tells you this is the best you can see with glasses or contacts, and you're not satisfied with it, that's when you need to have those cataracts removed, or if you don't have legal driving vision anymore, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Take care. All right, we're on a roll. We're getting ready to take another call. You can learn more at Fortifeye.com for any of these supplements, Fortifeye, Fortifeye.com. You can call Arlene at Fortifeye Vitamins. I'm going to give you the toll-free number. It's 866-503-9746, 866-503-9746. And I see somebody chimed in via social media and wants me to talk a little bit more about the fit and what is in it, but I don't know if we're gonna have time. Let's go to Sharon first. Sharon's been waiting patiently. Sharon, good morning.
Well, good morning. I have regular exercise program, and I use your Fortifeye Fit and your protein isolate.
Right.
But I find at night, during the night, sometimes I have these horrible cramps. I have to get up and walk around and everything. Do you have any ideas about how I could avoid those?
Well, do you only have that when you take the Fit or the Whey Isolate, or do you have it every night? Is it only when you take the Fit or Isolate?
Oh, no. It's just from repetitive motion. I think trauma to certain muscles in the past.
Right.
And
yeah,
I guess
Is it actually in your stomach itself, or is it in the muscles?
Oh, no, it's in the leg muscles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Have you talked to your primary care physician about it?
No.
All right.
Usually they're not too helpful.
Well, I mean, the FIT, as you know, and the protein was developed to help us slow down sarcopenia. I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of patients that are taking it on the villages. They've done quite well. So it doesn't work for everybody. Remember, this is nutritional support for muscle wasting as we get older. So we don't have time to talk any more about that, but thanks, Sharon, for the call. The music's on, so that means we're just about out of time, okay? All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. Remember, check out the 30% off for Fortifeye Macular Defense at fortifeye.com. It's 30% off. And come welcome the new doctor, Dr. Susan at the Lange Eye Institute. With that, I'm out of here. Have a great day. God bless you and God bless America.